Hi there, my name is Anita and this is my channel Sewing Yogi. So welcome back today. I did actually film a vlog last Friday and I was going to get it up on the weekend, and then I uploaded it to the app that I use to edit all the bits out that I make mistakes in, and it's got slightly weird and got a bit corrupted. And yeah, so I'm going to have to film a little bit and then piece some bits together. So it might seem a bit odd that I'm in different garments, and the lighting may look different and my hair may be different, but that's why it's all sort of jumbled up together. So I hope you don't mind that. So yeah, I haven't done a vlog for a while because I went on holiday to Greece, which was absolutely amazing. It was so good to be away. It was so lovely. I think it's probably one of the best holidays I've ever had, but I think it's because when you haven't been anywhere for a long time and because of what happened through the pandemic, I don't think you realise how anxious and how stressed you are until you get away, and then you just relax and you realise, oh my gosh, I've been so tense for so long, that you finally kind of take a deep exhale and realise, wow, this is amazing just to be away and to be relaxed. So it was probably one of the best holidays. I mean, you know, we've been to this place we went to quite a few times before, but it just felt completely different, and it was so wonderful to see the people that we know there. And it was very emotional because people were very just so pleased to see us, and joyous that we'd gone back. They didn't know if we'd ever go back or what happened to us. So yeah, it was so lovely to go back. It felt so emotional, and yeah, it was just beautiful. We didn't have any issues getting there. The flight was amazing. We went from Birmingham Airport and it was fine from there, because obviously we were a bit worried with the delays that were happening, the cancellations. And also we're not in the EU anymore, so we've got to do a different passport control thing. So yeah, that was all interesting, but we went through fine. We flew through and it was amazing, and I actually felt okay. And the whole flight I felt quite relaxed. I had done some meditation in the morning, and I have a little tincture which is called Rescue Remedy. I don't know if you have it in different countries, but it's a little homeopathic tincture that you can take, and it's basically calms you down. I used to take it quite a lot when I was younger, for stress and anxiety, etc. And I just remembered it and I thought, I'll get some of that. So after a good bottle of that, I felt fine. Only joking, just a few drops. And yeah, I felt great there. So we had an amazing holiday, but unfortunately the flight back was really awful and we were delayed, and we ended up getting back 4 a.m. in the morning, which completely messed me up. So I'm still not right. I'm still tired. I've had to have a little nap this morning. I got up, did a few things, and then I went back to bed because I was just so tired. So yeah, I'm still not completely 100% over that really late night. So yeah, too old for this now. But we had an amazing time. And then on Saturday we went to a show. I'm not sure whether he is well known elsewhere in the world, but in the UK he's well known. He's a guy called Darren Brown, and he's an illusionist, and he's also a hypnotist, and he does loads of different things. He's done tons of stuff in the UK, and he is absolutely amazing. So I was a little bit nervous because I know the kind of stuff he does. I didn't want to be one of those people that can be hypnotized. I was a bit petrified of being able to be sort of going into a trance and then doing crazy stuff. So I didn't want to be picked. I was really adamant, and this was booked 2 years ago, so it was before the pandemic. So we've been waiting for this for ages, and I bought it for my husband for, I think it may have been a Christmas or a birthday present. So we finally got to go Saturday, and it was amazing. Now, I'm not allowed to tell anybody about what happened because he does ask people that, you know, you don't tell anyone, you don't tell what happens in the show, because it's then nice for everybody else who does go to the show to know nothing about it, which I can completely understand. So you're not allowed to take any pictures, any videos, anything at all. You have to turn your phone off as soon as you get in there. So I have no evidence that I've been there, but yeah, it was amazing. And I kept thinking about it all of Sunday, because there was one tiny part of it that he kind of convinces you that your mind has blanked out some of the show. And so everyone's like, did we blank that out? Did that actually happen? We weren't sure. So yeah, it's really, really interesting and really good fun. And yeah, it was an amazing night. So we had a really good time. And so yeah, another late night. So I'm just exhausted. I'm not used to this going out malarkey. So anyway, on to what I'm going to talk to you about today, which is my May, and I'm going to add my June makes in as well, because I think it's just best to cram them both in together. And because I didn't have that many things that I made in June, and I'm not going to get anything else made now for the end of June. I'm trying to clear my sewing room. It looks like a bomb site. I'm not going to show you. You can see the bit behind me, which I've literally cleaned, moved stuff around just before I filmed this, because it's a mess. I need to clean it up. There's stuff everywhere and I can't concentrate when it's messy. I need it to be tidy so I can get on with the new projects. I'm still umming and ahhing on what I'm going to do in July. I've got so many things I want to make. I just can't, I kind of get overwhelmed when there's too many things that I want to make, and I can't actually get started on anything. But I think I've got one idea. So anyway, I'll talk about that in another blog. So I'm now going to talk about my May and June makes. But first of all, I'm going to show you a top that I made, and this was out of fabric that I had spare from a dress that I made in April, I think. Yeah, so April. Oh, and I should say I'm wearing my Jessica dress today. This is the Jessica dress by Mimi G. I love, love, love this dress. I only have made one, but I want to make another. And I used out this fabric that I got in the market. I don't know what this fabric is. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I really like it. It's kind of cottony, but not. It's got like a funny sheen to it. It's kind of crinkly, but it's not uncomfortable. It's really nice and soft and drapey. I love it. So yeah, I've got my Jessica dress on, and I'm going to change and show you the top that I made, because I have no pictures of this one. I've completely forgot I made it, to be honest, and I only just remembered. So I'll go and put that on for you. Okay, so here is the top that I made, and it is an Ogden Cami by True Bias. I've made loads of these, and in any spare fabric I have like this that's kind of flowery, or you know, from dresses or anything like that, I tend to put them into a Ogden Cami or the Sew Over It silk cami. So I'm kind of unsure of this pattern. I'll show you in a minute, but I really like it. I think it's lovely. It always feels like I'm done the right size. So you can see here, I've got quite a bit of room either side. But for some reason, I just feel like it just feels tight around this part here and around the bust. So I don't know whether I'm meant to kind of size up, size up a bit, yeah, so go bigger. But yeah, I mean, I always struggle as well with the straps. And I have tried wearing it with a strapless bra, but it doesn't really sort of work for me. So, but I do love it. I do kind of want it to work. I want to try and make this pattern work. So yeah, I don't know why it doesn't sort of fit me. I don't know whether to make a bigger size. So I'm making the size that says for my sizes. So in 34-inch bust and I can't remember the waist, but essentially the one I'm supposed to make. Can't remember the numbers. I think it's numbers, isn't it? Or is it letters? I can't remember for True Bias. But it feels tight. It almost feels like I need bust darts in it or something. I don't know whether it's because I have to shorten the strap slightly so that I can't see the bra strap at the back. And I don't know whether that changes it and I need to make a bigger size. But I'm sure if I made a big size, it would just be too big and gaping. So I don't really know what to do with this pattern. If anyone knows any tricks or tips for this, then please do let me know, because I really want to make it work. It just feels like it should have bust darts or something, because it just feels a bit tight round. Like I say, it's here. It feels tight here. It kind of drags. But it's still, can you see? There's still room there. What's going on? I don't understand. So any help, that would be great. So I made this anyway, and I do make the size, like I said, for the 34-inch bust, whichever that one is. I cannot remember. I know I've got the pattern here somewhere, but I haven't got it out. So I'm being really organised today. But yeah, so I love this. I've made so many of them, and I think they're all the same. I wear it and then think, oh, it's a bit tight and it doesn't sit properly here at the back. So I'm going to size up, make the bigger size and see how that goes. Because I mean, I only ever make them out of scrap fabric, bits of fabric, because they can get it out of a metre. It's really, really nice pattern. But I really love the fact that it's nice and airy. I wore this to the airport when we were going on holiday, because it was actually a really, really warm day, the day we went. And it was really comfortable. But then I had another one that I wore on holiday, and that one felt really restrictive, and it was in a different fabric though. That was in a kind of a crepe fabric, and it just didn't feel right. And I thought, oh, I need to make a bigger size on this, I think. So yeah, anyway, that's the first make I got out of the fabric that I used, that I've already got a dress out of. I think it's the New Look 6446, is it? My favourite pattern. I should know it off by heart by now. So yeah, that's make number one. Made just before we flew, the day before I finished this particular garment here, and I'm wearing the Tilly and the Buttons Stella hoodie. I didn't think I was going to get this made. I really, really thought it's not going to happen. And then it just so happened I just found some time to be able to get it done, and it is a really quick sew. Even for me, and I'm a very slow sewer, I did actually get it completed very, very quickly. And so I'm overjoyed that I got this made, and I absolutely love this hoodie. It's gonna be the best hoodie I've ever owned, ever. I've never made a hoodie before for myself. I've made ones for my husband, but I've never made one for myself. So I've always had shop bought or ready to wear ones, and they never really kind of fit me that well. So with this one, I am absolutely in love, and I'm going to definitely make another one. So I had the pattern from Simply Sewing magazine. So it was a free pattern that they gave you, but you didn't have instructions with it. So I kind of thought, well, I'm going to just try and work out this pattern myself. But then I just thought I'll Google and have a look to see if I can find a tutorial or a blog post or anything that someone's made it. And lo and behold, there was a lady that did a tutorial on a YouTube channel to pretty much basically sew it up. I mean, it was a really basic one, but it did the trick because it's really easy to sew up. And I think I would have maybe, well, I would have found out how to kind of sew it, but it's just nice to know the order in which it goes together. That might make sense. So that was really helpful, and I will put the link to that particular tutorial if you want to know how to put it together. If you're like me and you have that pattern from the free magazine and you don't have the instructions, then I'll put that in the description below. So yes, I made this out of French terry, and this is a fabric that I just got spare from another sweater that I'd made my husband for Christmas. And it's French terry I bought from Rainbow Fabrics. It's a really lightweight fabric, and really, really nice for this particular style hoodie for this time of year, so it's not too heavy. And then for the lining, I had used some old other fabric that I used to make some pajamas. So this is actually the inside of the fabric, the pattern side, which I used for my pajamas, is on the other side, because I just thought this colour went better. And then I had some pink ribbing that I used on the pyjamas also for the pyjamas I did, the Tilly and the Buttons Juno pyjamas. So I had this for the cuffs, for the wrists and the ankles, and I just had some of that spare, so I used that. And then for the tie, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any shoelaces or anything that I wanted to get in time, because it was literally the night before I finished, before we flew, that I made this. So I found I had some cotton tape, that's the kind of cotton tape that you use for, you know, apron strings or apron around the neck part, and I thought that would do. So I just shoved that round, tied little knots in the end, and I think it worked. I might replace them, but I might not. I actually quite like them as they are. So yeah, an amazing pattern. I loved making this. I'm definitely going to make another one. Okay, so I made a size 3, which is for a bust of 34 inches and the waist of 28 inches and the hips of 37 inches, and that's pretty much me. So it fits me perfectly. And this was the fabric that I used inside the hood, which you may recognise if you've followed me for a while and you've seen my vlogs. I made some Juno pyjamas out of this fabric, but I didn't think that it would work with this grey on the inside, so I went with the pink on the inside, which is the reverse of that fabric, and that seemed to work lovely. And yeah, I didn't make any adjustments to the bodice, I've just left it the same. And I took the sleeves up by just 5/8 of an inch, so I didn't actually have to shorten the sleeves very much at all. So I'm assuming this is drafted for quite a small person, because I usually have to shorten, shorten the bodices and shorten the sleeves by quite a lot. So yeah, I just love it. It has a lovely dropped sleeve. It's just the most comfiest and snuggliest thing ever, and I can't tell you how happy I was to get this made, because I wanted to take it on holiday so that I could wear it on the aeroplane, and it was perfect because, again, as always, I've got a cold, and I put this on and it made me feel really happy and snuggly, and I actually really enjoyed the journey there, even though I'm not very good at flying. So I'm overjoyed with this. I really am. It's only a simple thing. It's only a simple garment, but I really am happy with it. So yeah, and then I'll just stand up so you can see. I've just turned under the bottom. I'll just pull that back a little bit. I have just literally turned under the bottom, and I've just overlocked the edge and just stitched it up. I don't know whether this hem is meant to be this deep, but I just turned it up to the amount that I think looked right on me. And then I put a little label in it as well. So this is a label from the Cami in the Machine set that I got at Christmas, and it says Cutie on it. And I just thought I'd put that in the seam, and I really love that little added touch there. Yeah, but I really love it. It's so snuggly, and I think it works perfectly. You can see there, it's just on my sort of low hip, which is perfect because I didn't want it to be too long, but again, I don't want it too short because I want it to feel happy and snuggly in there. So yeah, really happy with this one. It's a brilliant make. I would definitely recommend, if you haven't already made it, you probably already have, because everybody has made one, I think. I'm just really too late to these things. But yeah, definitely recommend this pattern. So you can see there that it has a panel at the back of the hood. So it's 3 panels, 3 sections. And then you do the same on the inside for the lining. And yeah, I really love the way this comes together. It's so cute. I love the front, the way that that's done. I've just overlocked all the insides of my neckband, and yeah, all the sleeves on the inside and everything on the hem and on the inside there. I did mine on my sewing machine. I always sew my jersey garments on the sewing machine, and then I overlock the edges because I don't trust myself with the overlocker. So, and then onto the next thing, which is now what I've got on, is a Audrey top by Sew Over It, and it's in this beautiful fabric which has cherries on it, and I've actually entered this one into the So Fruity 22 that is going on in June. So I think it's basically sew something up which has fruit on, or is fruit related, or fruit coloured, or yeah, and it doesn't have to be for yourself, it can be for a garment for somebody else. And I just so happened that I made this. I think I might have just made this in the end of May, or yeah, towards the end of May. And I had no idea about the So Fruity 22, but then when I heard about it, I thought this is probably perfect. So I have entered into that, and I've made the tie version because I prefer this version. I've never done the one with a bow. I don't think that's really for me. And then every one I've made of these where it's just been a regular band has been awful, and I just didn't like them. So I now stick with this one, and I love it. I absolutely adore this pattern. I've made loads of them now. If you've seen my previous vlogs, you'll know I've had lots of disasters with this pattern. And yeah, so I really love it. And I bought this fabric from, it was Fabrics Galore, and it was probably about a year or 2 years ago now, I can't remember. They don't have it anymore. I know they sold out of it. It was quite popular at the time, but I have seen it elsewhere. I don't know whether there's anywhere that actually has it now. But yeah, so it's my Audrey top. I'll just stand up and so you can see it a little bit better. And again, it's a nice fitted top. I like the length of this. It just sits snugly. And this fabric is really lovely, actually. It really has nice stretch to it and it covers really well. I really love it. I love the neckline on this top. And you've probably seen lots of Audrey tops before, but I absolutely adore it. And yes, so I made size 8. I have to make a size 6 on the neckline, and I do an alteration on this top here, on this piece where I've taken it in, I think another centimetre, so that the angle sits much sharper, so it sits flatter. I have talked about that before, and I know Andrea from Beyond the Paint Door has got a tutorial of how to do that adjustment. And then I grade from the 6 down to an 8, and that it seems to fit me fine. I think I have taken off length off the sleeves, but I can't remember how much. Probably not very much, I don't think, if any at all, actually. It may have just been perhaps an inch or so. But yeah, it's a really easy pattern. I love the pattern so much. I knew when I bought this fabric that's what I was going to make with it. It's just been sat there for ages, just not doing anything with it. It's only when I went through my fabrics I remembered I'd got it, so I thought I'll quickly knock this up, and I've actually worn it quite a few times now. On the neckline, and then with this particular bit here, I had issues with the first time I did it, where you have to kind of get to the edge, right at the edge where you're putting these ties in. And what I do is I hand stitch in some stitches right at that point on both sides, because I found that when the machine goes through it, it pushes it apart, so it doesn't always sit flush with the lines, and I am very particular about my sewing being accurate, so I hand stitch it in first, and then I go over it in the machine, and it doesn't budge, it stays there, and it sits exactly where it's supposed to. And you can take the stitches out again, the hand stitches, if you want, but I just leave mine in for extra security. And then top stitch over it, so it all sits there and snugly, and it's good. When you wash it, you haven't got a risk of, because I always fear that there's just going to be a little hole that appears, or it's just not very secure. I found that with another sew over it pattern, the Martha dress, there's the wrap over the front where you kind of have to stitch it in, but that's that particular part on my dress I'm always wary of. I've just washed that because I wore it on holiday, and I'm still looking at it thinking, I'm going to go in there with some more hand stitches on that, because I'm just fearful that it's going to fall apart. But anyway, yeah, I really love this one. So thank you for this top, sew over it. So that's that pattern. On to the next pattern. Okay, so the next pattern I made was this one, this Simplicity 1108. And it was a pattern that was given to me by my mother-in-law, and I thought, well, I'll quickly knock one of these up for a beach cover-up while I'm on holiday. And originally I wanted to do the straight version, but because it needed bias binding, I couldn't really be bothered, so I ended up doing this curved version. So I made the size small, and it's huge, so I wish I'd gone with the extra small now. It is massive, and I'm not so sure I like this that much. I mean, I did use fabric that I wasn't that fussed about, to be honest. I just wanted something to quickly do before holiday. Found this fabric and thought, well, that will do, because it's kind of like a peach skin fabric. It's kind of very polyestery, which is in itself is fine because it doesn't crease, and it washed really quickly and easily and dried really quickly for the next day, which was good. But I just don't know if it's the shape of this I'm not that keen on. It looks massive, and it has a curved front, so you probably won't be able to see it, or can you see it? It kind of curves around in the front, and it's very big and cocoon-like. That's the way it reminds me. It kind of gives you a rounded shape. So I'll show you on the pattern. It kind of goes around. It's like all in one and goes around curved. I'm not so sure I'm liking that for me. Don't know if it really suits my frame. I think I'm perhaps too small to get away with it. I think if I was taller, I would probably be okay with it. I'm not sure I'm going to make another one like that. I might do the other version, which is just a straight version. I'm going to just pop it on over this. I know it's not going to work. I know it's not going to work, but I just, you know, I'm not going to get my bikini on. I'm not getting my bikini on just to show you this. So I'll just pop it over my thing. But it is quite big, I think. Again, sorry, I'm moving the camera. Let's get that out of the way. You can see it's on the sleeve and that is all in one. And although, to be honest, it did do the job on holiday, it did exactly what I wanted it to do, but you can see it's quite big. And yeah, I wasn't sure. I did actually take a tie to go around it to kind of like cinch it in a bit, but it kind of didn't really work, I don't think. It just felt too big, but you know, it did the job. It did the job. I just find that the shape for me is not great, and yeah, I'm not sure I would make another one in this particular style. But like I say, it did the job. I wore it on holiday when I'm going to the pool or anything, and I just wanted something to cover myself up. It was great for that, so I can't grumble. And to be honest, you know, I didn't know what I was going to do with that fabric. I hadn't really I purchased it online, and it was when I first started buying stuff online. I didn't really know what I was buying. Just took a gamble, and when it came, I was like, I'm not sure I like that. But it just done the job, and it was quite an easy pattern. It was a little bit more long-winded than I assumed it was going to be. You have to gather this neck part right at the top. So all that is gathered right at the top, and then you make this band with making like a facing for it, and then you kind of stitch it in just the way you would really with a normal one, but it was curved. So the pieces were quite confusing. So you do have to pay attention to that. I found that was a bit confusing. And then just the fact that it's huge, and there's no finished garment sizes on the actual pattern or the envelope or anything. So you just have to kind of go with what you think. And of course, yeah, I wish I'd gone with a bit of a smaller one, but it's fine. Like I said, I won't make it again probably. I'll just do the straight version in the same pattern, but a straighter version. Or I did think I'll just make the Sylvia robe. I have got the Sylvia robe, so over it, and I have made that as a short jacket. I might just make that one and extend it and make it a little bit longer. So on to the next pattern. Okay, so the next thing I've made is this here, which is a dressing robe or dressing gown, and it is in fabric that I found in the market, and it's a beautiful fabric. I don't know what it is. It just has this beautiful stripe down it. You might be able to see that. I don't know if I've got any of the fabric closer, but it's got a stripe down it, and I chose this pattern to make this, and it is called the Buchanan, and it's by a pattern company called Gather. Now, I don't think that these patterns exist anymore. I don't think this company continued on with the patterns. I don't know. I don't think they have. But I bought this quite some time ago, I think from the Sewing Quarter. They had an offer on, and I just chose to buy it because I thought it was a really nice, sweet dressing gown pattern. And I love it. I've made this quite a few times for other people. I've never actually made one for myself, and I keep wanting to make one for myself. But then when I make it, it's actually quite more involved than you think, because there's a lot of details that you can add to make it look pretty, and I like to add all the details. So you can add the side belt loops. There's also a hanging loop right at the back, and it has a belt, and it also has pockets, and you can have two different pockets. You can have a patch pocket or the inseam pocket. I always go with a patch pocket because I just think it looks nice. And with this fabric, I just saw it and thought it would be really nice as a dressing gown. Now, I've made this for my niece, who is turning 18 next Wednesday, and she's going off to university in September, and I really wanted to make her something that was special. Now, I don't know whether she's going to take this with her. She might not. She might choose to just keep it at home for when she goes home. But I just wanted to make her something that was a little bit more glamorous and a bit more adult-like, and something that she can keep for hopefully years and years and years to come. and know that I've made it for her. So yeah, and I'm hoping she's not going to see this vlog. I'm going to make sure, message my sister to say, make sure she doesn't watch this vlog until she's had a birthday. But I wanted to get this in the post to her, so I've got to literally get this in the post this evening before I before I do anything else. I want to make sure it gets to her. So yeah, I've made this specifically for her. That's why I'm not going to try it on. And I absolutely love it. I think it looks so beautiful. So it has this stripe down it. So I chose to take the stripe in the horizontal down the front band. And I also went horizontal on the cuffs and the right at the top of the pocket. So I think it looks really beautiful, and I'll just show you on the inside. Now it's quite involved, so probably because I chose to do French seams throughout the whole thing, and because I just think it looks prettier that way. It just looks nicer. So you get a little hanging loop on the inside. I've also added a little label in there which says made for me by Anita. So I put these in all the things that I make for other people. And yeah, and it has French seams all on the inside seams, through the side seams and the armholes, and yeah, through the sleeves as well. Just like to make it like a bit extra special. So it did take me quite a while to get made, but I made it back in May because I wanted to get it finished and make sure that it was done for her. It's a little bit creased now because it's been on my dress form while I've been away, and the belt has been wrapped around it, so it's been a bit creased there. So I shall give that another press before I post it. But yeah, I absolutely love it, and I'm really, really, really hoping that she loves it too. I mean, when I made it, I was actually tempted to keep it for myself because I just think it's so beautiful. This fabric is really lovely, and you can see it's quite sheer, and it's really lightweight and very soft and drapey. I really don't know what the fabric is. I wouldn't say it's I couldn't even tell you what it is. I think it's synthetic, but I'm not even going to guess. I don't know. I don't know enough about fabrics to know. So yeah, I just thought it was beautiful. And I did message my sister and show her the fabric and say, do you think she'd like this? Because I know she's not really a girly girl. She doesn't really do pinks and girly stuff. But she said that she probably would quite like this pink. And I'm hoping that pink's going to show up on the camera properly. But it's a lovely, lovely light. Again, I wouldn't know, what do you call that? Sort of dusky pink, a dusty pink. But yeah, it's beautiful. So yeah, that is for my niece, and I made her the size small. I think it comes in, let's have a look, what's the sizing? Yeah, so it just comes in a small, a medium and a large. So the small is for 8 to 10, a medium is 12 to 14, and large is 16 to 18. And like I said, I've made these for 2 of my friends for Christmas presents. It's a really lovely pattern. It's really easy to put together. Instructions are really, really good. Like I say, you can have inseam pockets, you can have the potch pockets. I have lengthened the sleeves for this one. I just thought it looked better to have a longer sleeve. So it should sit just kind of above her wrist. And then I've lengthened it as well. So it's actually quite a short dressing gown. It's it's meant to be a little bit higher, and it's also meant to have side splits in it. Now, I haven't put the side splits in it because I accidentally forgot about the side splits when I was doing the French seams, and then realised when I was doing the French seams, how am I going to put that side slip in? The side slit, sorry, in. I couldn't work it out in my head, so I just eliminated it, so I can't be bothered with that. And to be honest, I don't think she'd been that keen on the side split anyway, so yeah, I think it quite looks better. And I lengthened it a good 3 inches. She's very, very tall. And I think on me, it may have came to just kind of like above my knee. So I knew that on her, it would be really, really short. So I have lengthened it a good 3 inches. And yeah, I really, really love this. I think it's really beautiful. I really hope she likes it. I'll find out next week when she gets it and opens it, I hope that she does like it and she doesn't lie to me and say that she likes it and she doesn't. So yeah, that's that pattern. So on to the next pattern. So this is the dress that you will have already seen in my previous vlog where I'd finished just before I went on holiday. I really wanted this dress for the holiday and I finished it and I absolutely love it. So I shall stand back so you can see it. I'll get on the little step. And it's maxi length. Love it, absolutely love this so much. I just think it's beautiful. I love the pockets, the pleats at the back and the pleats at the front are so flattering and I just love it. I just think it's the most beautiful pattern and I've got to be honest, I think it's got to be one of my favourite patterns. It's just beautiful and I mean I've made this pattern now so many times, I've just got it perfect for me. The waist seam sits exactly where it's supposed to. My darts sit exactly where they're supposed to. And I've got that fitting me so lovely at the back. It just feels so comfortable. And like I said, I have changed the straps here, so they are thicker straps normally, but I've just literally turned the pattern pieces in half and then used the same seam allowance so they're thinner. And I think it works better for this pattern because it's quite busy. But I adore it. I just think it's absolutely lovely. And I swished around in it on holiday and I had some really wonderful compliments for this dress. So yeah, I had some really nice compliments from people saying how nice they thought it looked, and yeah, I just love this pattern. I'm addicted to this pattern. I'm obsessed. I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to make the jumpsuit again because the jumpsuits I've got, I've literally worn them to death and they're starting to go a little bit now. They're fading because I just wear them all the time. So I'm going to make another one so that I can again just, I mean, they're great for the heat. They're great for when it's hot. They're so easy to pull on and I've worn them out in the evening. I've also worn them out in the daytime shopping. They're just so easy to dress up and down. I don't know, it's got to be one of my favourite patterns. I can't think of another pattern that I love as much as this. I mean, it's probably one of my most made pattern now. I don't know, maybe not quite my most made, but I love it. So yeah, I mean, I won't go into all the sizing and everything for this one because I have done a previous vlog of this dress, so I'll put that up in the card up above. What I did forget to say, however, in that last vlog is that I had to adjust the back. Now I'd completely forgotten about this because I've done so many adjustments to it. That was one of the things I'd forgotten. This back part here just seems so big. It just sort of gapes back. So the first one I made, I had to take in quite a lot. And then when I've checked the pattern pieces now against the original pattern pieces, I've realised that it's bizarrely about a good size 6 on the back and then a size 10 on the front. It's really strange. So if you do make this, I definitely suggest maybe make a 12. But to be honest, with this one, you can easily adjust it with your zip. So it's just basically taking your zip in. It doesn't really affect anything too greatly. So you could make it out of the fabric you want to make it out of and then literally just cinch it in with your zip. So at the top here, it's kind of had to take in quite a lot and then I've literally tapered it back out to the size that it should be at the waist. But I think a lot of people have said the same thing about that one. I did have a message from a lady that said she'd made it and had that same problem. That's what gave me the you know, the memory of, yeah, I had that same issue and I just completely forgot. So sorry about that. Sorry I forgot about that particular issue. And yeah, I mean, it's just, again, a pattern I've done so many times now. I've just tweaked it so many times so get it just fitting perfectly. I am one of those people, I do have to make a lot of adjustments to a pattern. I've never had a pattern where I've just made it straight from the packet and it's fitted. You know, I think some people are very, very lucky if they get to have a pattern like that, but I've never had one where I've just been able to just make it straight off. There's always something I've got to move, do whatever to the pattern. So, you know, that's just one of those things. But I think when you've got it already cut out, when you've got your pieces already cut out and it's just there, it's just so much easier just to go, I'm just going to go and make another one of those because I can't be bothered to print off a pattern or trace off a pattern or cut out a pattern, work out the sizing, do all the twirling, do all the adjustments. Sometimes you just want something nice and easy, and this is exactly what it is. It's just an easy pattern to do. The instructions aren't great, I have said before, but if you've made a few things now, you probably would be all right and just work it out. Essentially, that's what I did. I just worked it out. Just use common sense, figure it out as you go along. And any mistakes I've made on the previous ones, no one's ever noticed. And you just, it's one of those things you're not really going to know unless you are a sewer or a sewist. So yeah, love, love, love this one. So you're going to get so bored of this pattern, you're going to think, when is she ever going to move on from this pattern? Never, never, ever, ever, ever. Love it so much. So yeah, that's all the things that I made in May and June. So there was quite a few things there, but I think it's because I crammed them together from May and June. And I was in a bit of a crazy manic rush to get things made for my holiday. And I'm really surprised I got them made, to be honest, because I really didn't think I would. The hoodie, I really didn't think I was going to get made. And, the dress, the beach cover-up, the cami, and what else did I do? The Sew Over It, Audrey top. Yeah, so I think that's everything. I think that's all of them. But yeah, that's quite a few makes for me. I'm quite a slow sewer, but maybe I'm getting a bit quicker. Or maybe I was just in a panic and having a meltdown and wanted to get everything made. So yeah, I posted my niece's present today. So hopefully she'll get that tomorrow. I've sent it tracked delivery, signed for delivery, so it should hopefully get there. I'm always wary of just sending stuff regular post with the Royal Mail. Might not get there. So yeah, I really wanted to make sure she gets that. I hope she loves it. And my sister sent me a picture of her wearing her prom dress because she's got her prom on Thursday as well. And she looks absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. She's just amazing. And she's intelligent, super intelligent. She wants to try to go to university to study architectural engineering. So she's an amazing young girl. I'm so proud of her. Obviously, I've not had anything to do with her upbringing. I didn't have anything to do with her. My sister's done all that. She's an amazing mom. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what she thinks of that May. I hope she likes it. So yeah, that's all I've got to talk to you about today. And I really hope everyone is really well and you've had some time to sew. And if you haven't had time to sew and you've not felt like it, don't worry, don't stress, don't kick yourself or make yourself feel bad, because that's just life, isn't it? We have our moments where we just feel like sewing, and then there's other moments where we don't. We just want to sit around, watch TV, or go out and be outside and enjoy the weather or whatever. So yeah, I hope you're all really well, and I look forward to getting another vlog out, chatting to you and seeing all your wonderful comments. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers as well. I've had a little flurry of new subscribers, so thank you so much for subscribing, and I will do my best to give you some really good content. So yeah, take care everybody, and as always, sending all my love. Bye bye.